The opioid crisis. Over the course of 2 decades, millions of Americans have become addicted to these painkillers. And after years of people demanding that someone be held accountable, the drug companies are finally starting to pay a price.
There is word tonight of a settlement involving thousands of lawsuits tied to the opioid crisis. OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma has reached an agreement with 22 states and about 2,000 local governments over its role in the deadly epidemic. The company will pay up to $12 billion over time, with $3 billion coming from the Sackler family. They own Purdue Pharma and will also give up control of the company.
You know, I'll be honest with you, I'm torn about this story. You know, yes, I'm happy that the opioid companies will have to pay, but at the same time, they misled sick people about how addictive their drugs were, right? They also lobbied to lift limits on how many opioids doctors could prescribe. And then now that they've made billions of dollars off an epidemic that caused countless deaths, they just get to be like, how about we give you some of that money back and we call it even? I think it's bullshit, I'll be honest. I imagine someone broke into your house, stole a bunch of their stuff, and then when you busted them, they're like, all right, you got me. How about I break you off 100 and we call it even, yeah? Yeah, and then you're like, that's my wallet. It's like, okay, 120. But I get to keep the library card, okay? And even though this opioid crisis has been in the news for the past few years, the family who profited most from a lot of this devastation has managed to remain fairly anonymous. But now, we're finally meeting the men behind the curtain.
For the first time, we're now seeing and hearing from Dr. Richard Sackler, the former chairman and president of Purdue Pharma, respond to questions under oath.
Do you know how much the Sackler family has made off the sale of OxyContin?
I don't know.
Do you know if it's over $10 billion?
I don't think so.
Do you know if it's over $5 billion?
I don't know.
But fair to say it's over $1 billion.
It would be fair to say that, yes.
Really? Really? This guy's gonna act like he doesn't know if he made $1 billion? Get the out of here, man. You see him acting like he's thinking about it? Oh, did I? Yeah, I guess you could say. He's acting like he has to count up all his change. Well, I did get that $10 from grandma. Yeah, I made $150 from the yard sale. Oh, yeah, there's $1 billion from killing thousands of Americans by lying to them about their painkillers. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot that part. Oh, and I got the library card. Yeah, the library card. And the Sacklers, they aren't the only ones facing consequences for their role in fueling the opioid epidemic, right? Everyone's favorite baby shampoo company has also been told it's time to pay up.
Yesterday, an Oklahoma judge ruled that opioids ravaged the state and ordered Johnson & Johnson to pay $572 million. The judge said that the company intentionally misled the public about the dangers of its drugs.
Johnson & Johnson stock was up as much as 5% since the company was ordered to pay far less than many investors expected.
Yeah, you heard that right. Johnson & Johnson's stock actually went up after they were fined $572 million because they expected the punishment to be much worse. They expected the punishment to be worse. Yeah, and that tells you something. It's like a guy coming out of the shower and his girlfriend is like, you've got some explaining to do? I was looking through your phone and who is this puppy you met? It is adorable. You know I love puppies. Why didn't you tell me? And the guy's like, oh, yeah. Oh, the puppy that I'm totally not having sex with. Yeah, the puppy. So as it stands, these drug companies are going to pay a bunch of fines, not even admit responsibility, and no one seems to be going to jail, which is insane when you think about it, right? Like, just think about the levels here. Prosecutors want Felicity Huffman to go to jail for cheating in a college admissions scandal. They want to go to jail for that. But the people responsible for thousands of American deaths get to walk away with a slap on the wrist. These people are basically very formal drug dealers who are now protected just because they're a corporation. But if you look at someone like El Chapo, what's the major difference? Right? Be like, oh, it's more violent, yes, but fundamentally, he's a drug dealer. They were drug dealers. The feds took his money, yeah, and he's spending the rest of his life in prison. So if you think about it, El Chapo really only made one big mistake. He shouldn't have been a drug lord. He should have been the CEO of El Chapo Inc.